Alaa, thank you. Hello, and thank you for being
Yeah,
for doing our agency spotlight.
absolutely. And really thankful for the opportunity. Thank you so much. And like you said, Think Zero, this is exactly what we do. This is what we focus on. We want to help businesses leverage the voice technology, mainly a smart speaker, as a market entry point, and we'll see how they go. But before all that, maybe I'll introduce myself, like you said. My name is Alaa Alba, like you mentioned. I have a background in telecommunication engineering. Always knew that I will be working in tech. So Y2K was something that got me into that field. You notice how technology is affecting people's lives and changing people's behaviors and all that stuff. So my my in the start of my career, I worked with Cisco systems and computer network projects. Moving on, I worked in telecos for like 6 years, and you can imagine for the span of 6 years the amount of products that you get exposed to, especially that like there was a booming at that time. Then I decided that I want to be better product manager. Then I worked a little bit with software as a service companies to learn how they develop their MVPs and roll out and have like a go market strategy that they can go with. During all this, I always kept an eye on every emerging technology that's happening, and there's always ambition within me to like start something. And most recently, like you probably you came across the Amazon Alexa. For me, it was like 3 or 4 years ago, and I attended a meetup session at the Amazon office headquarter in Toronto, and they were showcasing the Amazon Alexa, of course. And what it seems to me at that point is like a basic device that listen and maybe does like a translation, and there's an information somewhere that give it to you, but they were showcasing what this could be in the future, all the technology they're adopting to, how it maybe it will respond to two conversations at a time. Is like, wow, this is crazy. Why? To me, it was crazy because it felt like the first time computers are adapting to our languages, and instead of us adapting to a mouse, a keyboard, or a touchscreen. That was like the wow moment that I had over there. But nothing really happened between that time and then when I realized that this can be used in marketing. I work a lot with marketing. I forgot to mention, but I have like a business degree and a marketing, like strategic marketing and relationships. And I noticed how important to work cross-functionally with the marketing team to lay out every like marketing campaign and understand what we're going to do on the website, what we're going to do on the social, etc. Now, the question is, what are these people doing for voice? We still don't know. That's why we exist. We want to help businesses to leverage the voice technology that I mentioned, mainly in smart speakers, because that's what everybody knows. If you look at the market adoption rates, this thing, whether like Amazon Alexa or Google Assistant devices, it reminds me when everyone started buying phones. Everyone was just getting them into homes, or like back in the days when everyone was getting desktops in their homes. So the adoption rate is crazy, and obviously there is like what people say like the fourth channel in the room. If you think about the TV, the mobile, the maybe the iPad, that's like the fourth screen if it's multimodal. Yeah, so that's why I exist. I mean, me and just a few of us, we're a very small team for now. What we do is just maybe listen to every podcast that it's about this industry, source out all the software that already exists, and see what every company, every technology is doing in that space. And we're having conversation with the businesses that maybe are interested. Now, the pandemic started in March, where we didn't find like this. There was like a big shift of focus when people like want to like trying to do their daily work in a different way instead of like adopting to new technology. But we keep this conversation going. I'm always curious about what's happening in that space, so we'll see how that will go.
So for Think Zero as a company, it is essentially, and tell me, please correct me where I'm wrong or if I'm wrong, a marketing focused voice experience agency. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, that's correct. The focus, it's a new agency, so we haven't done this before.
Hmm.
And the focus is a marketing agency with a niche focus on voice technology, nothing else. Because
Excellent.
honestly, we're a small team and we don't know anything else. Social media is not what we do. Website building websites is not what we do. The focus is just in voice technology and how they can leverage
Voice is
the
that thing that
voice
you do,
user.
right?
Yes. So voice user interfaces is what we're trying to explain. That's why the name, our name is, we chose Think Zero. So we want people to rethink what they used to do, because what you used to do for the website or maybe your IVR or your social media shouldn't be the same on voice. It's because it's a different, it's a conversational. And zero is just believing that future interfaces is zero interface through voice. We see bigger companies like Amazon, Walmart, they're thinking about shifting from one-click purchase to zero-click purchase. So let's zero everything. Let's think zero about everything that we can do marketing-wise.
Gotcha. I love that. Thank you for explaining kind of like the ideology behind the name Think Zero, because it really helps people understand kind of the name of a company or of an agency helps really convey what the vision of those founding folks were, where they see their impact can be, where they see the company going, that kind of stuff. So it wasn't a question I had in mind, but thank you. Yeah, no, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So so you're working with primarily with local businesses. So this might be a liquor store, it might be a restaurant, it might be a local doctor, right? If I am let's say I am a restaurant owner, how would Think Zero work with me and kind of help me understand voice and how to leverage voice? Can you give us kind of like, I'm almost looking for like a micro case study of how Think Zero is going to impact that small business. So if I'm that restaurant owner, how does Think Zero kind of fit into how I can succeed?
Yeah, for sure. So a restaurant owner or a retail owner, it could be any kind of business owner. There are some, and they're not everyone, who are always interested in the new and innovative way of doing things. They want to always look at that they are different than other businesses who don't really adapt to maybe other technologies like Uber Eats, or like they don't really bring in technology into their business. So we kind of like talk to people who are interested in adapting to new technology within what they do. Now, when it comes to a restaurant, we had this conversation with restaurant owners where they foresee a future where people can check in about like daily updates, what's new in the menu, promotions that they have like today, or maybe like happy hour deals. And we also we're trying to figure out how maybe they can differentiate their offering on these channels, meaning they can maybe advertise something on social media and something else on these devices. So I'll be at home and I will ask restaurant name A, Alexa, ask restaurant name, when is the happy hour, what's the happy hour deals today or something. So this is how you like future proof that these that can be used in that way, and you kind of like believe that you can build a relationship with like new maybe users, or maybe like reinitiate like a different engagement with existing users. So it depends on like how restaurant want to see this. What's their strategy? Do they want to attract users that live elsewhere, or maybe existing? Like that's different for like each and every one. But to summarize, it's just a business owner who's interested in leveraging emerging tech, that it's voice, into what they do when it comes to marketing. So it could be daily deals, it could be like promotions, and obviously voice search optimization. It's something that we always talk about. So a lot of restaurants should like build their websites and content to let people understand what they're offering, because the way we ask questions these days are going to be different, because we might have like 2 or 3 ask in one question. That's what people do. We always ask about, we need a restaurant that closes late and they have like Italian food and maybe a space for kids to play. So how we can be ready if you are already offering those services and it's treasure, how you want to make sure that these are somewhere online and make sure that people get those answers what they need to.
Yeah, and it's really not the thing that's interesting for us that we still find fascinating actually is Voice is, and we published an article a couple of weeks ago, building off of another article from another company, which was this idea that voice is going to be the next glass. So as you think about voice technology, thinking about it almost that it's on that same trajectory as glass, in the sense that glass is everywhere around us. We're looking at it right now as we're looking in our cameras, as we're working on our computers. It's everywhere. You don't think about it. You don't even think about how much glass there is around you. And voice is kind of following that same trajectory. And what I mean by that is, most people think about voice. Most people hear Amazon Alexa and Google Assistant, and their first inclination, their first thought, which rightfully so, is Echo, right? Amazon Echo, or here my little thing is going to respond. Set her up. Yeah, but the Amazon Echo, that's what I'm thinking about when I hear voice assistants, or the Google Assistant in my kitchen, the Amazon Echo in my kitchen. But the reality is that the sheer surface area of voice today, even as early as we're in, is just insane. Because you're not just finding Amazon Alexa and Google Assistant in your kitchen. You're finding it on your TV. You're finding it in your car. You're finding it on appliances, in electronics. It really is becoming this ubiquitous kind of technology that is connecting us with anything that has like a chip in it, basically. It is getting voice in it. An interesting stat that came out just it's probably about 6 months ago, but it was really an astonishing number, because when we look at North America or the United States, right, and we look at the level of saturation of Amazon Alexa or Google Assistant, we often look at, there's 90 million homes, 34% of US homes have a smart speaker in it, right? And it's always that label, smart speaker, because they're looking at that one device. But the study came out that it was 150 million consumers utilizing voice assistants, Amazon Alexa and Google Assistant specifically, within their cars every single month. Mm-hmm. Now that number blows away the number of households with smart speakers, right? And that's really where you start to understand that smart speakers is more about, voice assistants. It's more than just about smart speakers. So, as you're talking about the restaurant owner and, one of your clients, enabling consumers to engage with, get menu updates and stuff like that. It's not just, while they're in their home. It's, I'm driving home, I'd like to know if Jen's Bar happy hour started, right? And I don't want to have to call or Google. I'm driving for obvious reasons. It's not safe. Calling is distracting, but I can talk to my car and I can say, hey, Alexa, when's Jen's Bar happy hour today, right? And get that feedback from them. So it is super exciting, the space in and of itself. And with that, I would like to know, kind of like just in your own words, right? What makes you excited for marketing and voice?
For sure. So what makes me excited that marketers always look for an authentic response and a quick way to get some insights and results. And I believe this is a really fast way for marketers to differentiate. First, they're using voice, so they look innovative and they can deliver a unique service, depends on their customer segments. Also, they can look at how the business is doing and what they're doing the best, and decide if they want to use this channel also to support customers. So if we look at the customer journey and when it starts and where people are doing, we can look at minimizing the number of frictions when people want to get to some sort of information. So we usually what happens in the companies that they map out customer journey when maybe they land on the website and what kind of tabs they're looking into. Maybe happy hour is something they're really interested in. So how about we minimize this long journey where people do 2 or 3 different clicks to get somewhere. We obviously people are interested in this, so how about we deploy this in voice? So that's a quick way for us to deliver a message and quantify what's going to happen after. And also we marketers long term, I know that people are not going to look at voice differently than anything else. All of it's going to be unique. So your brand, the way it's represented on the website, or maybe social media, it will be mapped also to the voice. So sonic branding is going to be a big deal in the future. And so we'll be like maybe supporting brands in developing their own synthetic voices so they can look different. As a marketer also, we like every brand, we know that we're going to be collecting a lot of data about this relationship that just started between a voice device and a customer. So like in 5 years from now, we built all this relationship and conversation with this person, how we can develop a better service, a better product, and all that stuff. So that's what makes me excited, and
That's
yeah.
That's awesome. That's fantastic, and I love that example, right? Because that actually is a very good example you just had, which is if we're using the that scenario of wanting to know if Jen's Bar has happy hour, right?
Yeah.
When you're talking about going to a website, if it's a desktop or even if it's on mobile, you've got to go to the website, you've got to find where they have their happy hour listed, you got to scroll down, right? You've got all these, you've got quite a few hoops, really friction points that we just didn't have another option for. Whereas now with voice, it would be simply asking Jen's Bar for happy hour, right?
Yeah.
And that's it. There is no going to the website, looking up a menu and all that kind of stuff. So that's a very, I love that example because it's very visceral to the contrast of the experience, right? One is like, very, you have to be very focused. So it might be distracting you from something else. You have to do numerous clicks, wait for websites to load. And then the other is just asking, right? And that's what I think you also hit right on the head at the beginning of this, of our video here, which is, it's not like a website, it's not like a mobile app because it is very conversational. And that is both the challenge in knowing how to do it right and also the opportunity, right? In having that conversation automatically with customers. Like any local business, especially coming out of the pandemic, can benefit from having that personal, it's funny because it's automated, right? But it has all these opportunities to make it feel personal, make it feel personalized. So those were fantastic examples you gave. One last question, which is really about your relationship with TrueReply. If you can tell us in your own words, kind of what was your process and why did you kind of choose to launch Think Zero with TrueReply as kind of an essential piece of that puzzle? Why out of, however many tools you could have chosen, why was that kind of your choice?
Yeah, for sure. So I mentioned that I'm an engineer, but it doesn't mean that I get excited about building something from scratch every time. It's not what I really into. So obviously we did some research about every like technical solution that it's out there, and I can name some, but they're popular. What attracted me to TrueReply is they took the no code angle to the way they want to build things. So I imagine a future where the team that I'm working with are all marketeers. They call themselves like digital marketers or marketing specialists, whatever that is. They're interested in voice, similar to like they want to use that channel, but they don't necessarily want to be an engineer and like code things and stuff. So I figured this is a good tool for me to get into now, knowing that it's going to be evolve and get better in the future, similar to any like other tool. And yeah, like the experience so far, it's been great. The onboarding that I got is it's beyond amazing. The response that I usually get from you or like your team, it's amazing. So yeah, like we like, because in marketing there is so many like when we talk like creatively about what we can deliver, customers at this point, clients, they don't know what they want. So you want really a solution that quickly you can like flip like a solution A, B, C, so people can choose one and run away with it, see how what's happening, and then maybe some changes. But if you really want to hard code this, it's gonna get difficult. You're gonna get back into this waterfall method of like, let's define the scope, let's build something, let's test it, but this is not what we want to do. I think TrueReply is one of those softwares that I like that I'm using right now, that it's very adaptive. I'm still learning, by the way, like I'm nowhere like up to like, but I know that I have a great support, and we'll see how that will go.
Awesome, fantastic. Trying to think if I had any more questions, but I don't think I do. Thank you so much. I
No
really,
worries.
oh, yes, I did have questions actually. Where can folks
Yeah.
find you? How can they connect with Think Zero and Ala and your team?
Yeah, for sure. So the website is live. It's think-zero.com. Zero by words, not a number. But people can also,
We'll have it displayed on the bottom,
yeah,
so
for
we'll make sure
sure.
the spelling's right.
Uh, Yeah, and we recently just launched the meetup group. We called it In Conversation. So we're launching this in Toronto, Calgary, and in Vancouver, just to have more conversation for those people who are interested to know what we do. This is not for us that we want to sell something. It's just like we want to be a voice advocate and share the knowledge that we accumulated during the lockdown. And if people want to build their own voice apps, they can, because everything is available and it's online. But if they really want some help, maybe we can like come in and be their support.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
the
Fantastic.
meetup group is called In Conversation for a reason,
In
because we want to have
IN, in
in
conversation.
in conversations. Yeah, I will send those to you too.
Yeah, perfect. If
Yeah,
you send me those links,
yeah,
we'll
yeah,
display it down here on the video
for sure,
somewhere down there it'll be, or
for
maybe up
sure.
there. I don't know.
Yeah, it's been like getting a client who's like really interested 100% and they have like something ready is not what we have right now in Toronto, especially like
Mhm.
after the pandemic and the lockdown. But we believe that this is coming up soon and we should be ready, and that's why we're having those conversations with everyone.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. And I can't encourage enough local businesses, especially in the Toronto area, to reach out to Think Zero, because they will help they will help more than anything guide you as to how to add a voice assistant like Amazon Alexa and Google Assistant, excuse me, to those things you're already doing. And it's not a heavy lift. They can help you get there and really create that scalable personalization, scalable relationships via voice.